kingdom. The saints of the Most High. And the saints are the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
Okay, now, I told you to go give me some milk. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
That's a key statement right there. We shall take them captives, whose captives we were. And you can't deny the history of America. What made America great? Bringing Israelites over here and making them serve slavery. Go ahead.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
So what does it mean, rule over our oppressors? That means we're going to be lords over them. We're going to be the masters, and they're going to be the slaves. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear.
And you know what? When you rest, all you do is rest. That means you got somebody else doing your work. Who's going to be doing the work? Esau and the other nations. Go ahead.
And from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. That's why the Most High told us to go on the highways and the byways and to curse this man out. Go ahead.
Right, if I may say this, Elder Tar, and he said to do it just before the Lord was about to deliver us. And that's what we've been doing out there, beginning with the elders before us. It says, and say, how have the oppressors ceased? The golden city ceased.
Yeah, we're constantly reminding them how China is doing better than you, how you're not producing anything, how your military, you go to the other side of the world and you can't control Afghanistan, you can't control Iraq, you can't control this country, you can't control Pakistan. So now the whole world's pointing the finger at you. Go ahead.
The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth.
So you're going to be persecuted, and nobody's going to be able to stop us from persecuting you. Matter of fact, look up the word persecute or persecuted. What verse is that? Verse 6.
Yeah, the Hebrew word there for persecuted is maradap, which means persecution, persecuted. Yeah, that's pretty much what they have there, persecution.
All right, go ahead.
The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee.
Yeah, these are the other nations, but first and foremost is Jake. Israelites are beginning to wake up all over the place. Now, did I ask you to get something else? Hold something else? Okay, now, let's go from there to the book of Job, the 18th chapter, 11th verse to the 14th verse.
Job chapter 18 verse 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to...
You're terrorized by this, you're getting ready to celebrate 10 years of the World Trade Center, the towers going down, and you got some inside information that there's terrorists over here in car bombs on a truck ready to tear shit up. So you got your police on high alert right now, pulling people to the side, telling them to open up your hood, let me look at your documents. Basically, that's a state of emergency because the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, it says to be secure in thy papers and I'm paraphrased, your property, your papers, the different things that you have. Your car is part of your property. What's in your wallet is your papers from unreasonable searches and seizures. All right, seizure. So that's what you're doing when you tell a person to pull over and you say, well, let me open up the back, open up the hood. That in other words, the Constitution is suspended right now because you have declared an emergency. Now you can keep this emergency going until the missiles come. That's what an emergency is. When you declare an emergency, the U.S. government declares an emergency. That means the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, is suspended until the emergency is ended. Go ahead.
I forgot. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for.
Yeah, because when the Mossad takes this place out, it's going to be strange. Because the way we're going to be taken out is by what you call UFOs, unidentifiable flying objects. Because you teach that if there's a UFO, you done admitted that you saw UFO sightings, you have film document, you have film footage on it. So basically you're saying is that they're alien from another planet. And they're not, you're going to find out that they're not aliens from another planet, that they're in fact the angels coming down to deliver the children of Israel, the elect of the children of Israel. Go ahead.
All right, back in Job 18:11. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength.
Yeah, that's Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Verse 14. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terror.
Yeah, so after a while, you're going to lose your confidence, all right? Go from there to Job, the 15th chapter, and the 21st verse.
Job chapter 15, verse 21. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him.
Yeah, the destroyer is getting ready to come upon you and destroy you. Now go from there to the book of Ezekiel, the 21st chapter, and the 27th verse.
Ezekiel chapter 21 and verse 27. It says, I will overturn it, and it shall be no more until he come whose right it is, and I will give it him.
Read that again.
I will overturn it, and it shall be no more until he come whose right it is, and I will give it him.
The right of this kingdom, of the next kingdom, is talking about Yahweh Shai and the children of Israel. So that's what the Lord's going to do first. He's going to overturn this society. He's going to, in other words, for overturn is revolution. When you have a revolution, that means things are turned around. You revolt. That means you take down one power, and the people that have revolted, or the thing that has revolted, he becomes the power. And that's getting ready to happen. All right? Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 43. The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail.
Yeah, so the king of Babylon right now is Barack Obama. And he's going to start shitting in his pants after a while and peeing on himself and looking like the wimp that he really is. Now give me the book of Jeremiah. Give me Jeremiah, the 4th chapter. I'm sorry, Jeremiah, the 15th chapter and the 8th verse.
Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 8. Their widows are increased to me above the sand of the seas. I have brought upon them against the mother of the young men a spoiler at noonday. I have caused him to fall upon it suddenly, and terrors upon the city.
Read that again.
It says, their widows are increased to me above the sand of the seas.
Yeah, because, you know, when we start getting at you, we're gonna separate you from your woman, and we're going to kill you. And if your woman look good, we're going to preserve your woman and your daughters. Go ahead.
It says, I have brought upon them against the mother of the young men a spoiler at noonday. I have caused him to fall upon it suddenly, and terrors upon the city.
And that's what's going to happen to you Edomites. All right? You got something? All right, let him get his scripture out and pass it to you. Go ahead.
2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of